Funding for Tank Engine Chad and Friends has made possible in part by a grant from the Corporation for Public Broadcasting and by the annual support of viewers like you.
It was a beautiful summer morning in Mr.Mellmerd's railway. Tank Engine Chad was getting to know his branch line very well ever since his first day. He was very reliable, he was right on time, and everywhere along his branch line, the countryside seemed prettier than he expected. At the last station, Jackaroo was already there. Peep, peep. Good morning, Jackaroo. Isn't my branch line the most famous part of this railway?
Well, yes, Chad, but...
But what? I don't have all day.
Well, there is another engine who has a famous branch line.
Who? Where?
I don't know. But Mr. Miller said he may visit us.
When?
Oh, someday.
Why does your voice sound different?
My old voice stopped working. So I went to the repair yard and got a new one.
Gee, I really like it. It sounds good.
Thanks.
Jackaroo was right. There is another engine with a famous branch line, which was much more famous than Chad's. And believe it or not, that engine was in fact Thomas the Tank Engine on the island of Sodor. However, about that time, it looks like Thomas isn't doing very well, because you see, his branch line got damaged in a terrible storm they had last night. His controller, Sir Topham Hatt, can see that.
Cheer up, Thomas.
I'm sorry, sir. I can't stop thinking about it. How long will my branch line be fixed again?
I'm afraid not for a very long time.
Thomas didn't know how long a very long time was. He couldn't wait very long. He felt even more worse than ever. Then Sir Topham Hatt had an idea. He knew about Mr. Mellmerd and his railway.
Say, Thomas, you've been a really useful engine for a really long time. So, would you like to go on a vacation while your branch line is being repaired?
What kind of vacation? Sir Topham Hatt told Thomas about Mr. Mellmerd and his railway.
It's a very long way away to New York, but there are lots of engines there who would like to meet you. Would you like to go there?
Thomas was excited. Oh, yes, sir. I'd love to, sir. I'd like a nice long run to exercise my wheels. The next day, they set off. Meanwhile, back at Croven Station, all the engines were waiting for Thomas's arrival.
Do you know he runs a famous branch line?
Everyone was very excited, except for Chad, who was a little jealous. Well, maybe so, but that doesn't mean that I'm second best around here. And he puffed away to collect his coaches for his evening passenger train.
He doesn't know what he's missing.
We can see that, Jackaroo.
Suddenly, they heard an unfamiliar whistle. It was a whistle that made them even more excited.
Here he comes!
There was Thomas, puffing straight into the station. Everyone very happy to see him.
I hope you'll meet Chad soon. Me too. They have a lot in common.
Later that day, Thomas and Jackaroo had a happy afternoon together. They both shunted coaches all around in the coach yard until the sun went down. That evening, Chad finally met Thomas. Sorry, I can't talk right now. I must not be late for my evening run. What Chad didn't realize was that after he left, there was an emergency. Engineers came running around the platform as a warning to stop all trains. And soon all traffic was halted, including Chad. I'm gonna be late, and it's not even my fault.
We're being shunted to allow another train to pass.
I hope he doesn't take his time, whoever that train is. Then there was an unfamiliar puffing noise. It was Thomas. He came puffing past Chad and straight through the station. He disappeared in a flash. Well, bouncing boulders. The next morning, Chad was still complaining. Branch line, more famous than mine, made me late. It's just not fair at all. Hi, I'm sorry, I was a special. You were? Yes, I was. An important passenger missed his train home, and your friend Jackaroo let me take him. We had a great run together, but it can make an engine anxious not to know the line. That's what I said. By the way, what's your name? My name is Thomas. My branch line is closed for repair, so I came here to visit. Nice to meet you, Thomas. My name is Chad. And from that day on, Chad and Thomas became very good friends.